Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to quickly discuss the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 2 trailer. First things first, Andy Cohen, you better stop playing with us because we're about to have the holy grail of franchises out at the same time. Potomac is killing it. Beverly Hills is giving us everything we need and more. And now we're about to have Salt Lake City. I know a lot of you guys could not get into the first season of SLC, but I'm asking you, if you trust me, if you love me, you guys know I would never steer you wrong. I would be really honest if I thought that SLC was not that girl, but she's a very cute addition into the Housewives franchise, okay? I also want to point out that you know it's a good season when Andy gives you the Sunday night slot. Everybody knows that Sunday night on Bravo is prime time. It's usually Real Housewives of Atlanta or Potomac, Married to Medicine, Shah's a Sunset. It's always a grade A lineup. So the fact that SLC will be taking the spot right after Potomac, Sunday at 9 p.m., stop playing. So with all that being said, let's just hop into this trailer really quickly because it was only a 2-minute trailer, all right? And I don't want to bend your ear going on and on and on about it. So we start off the trailer, everybody is back. And then we find out that we have a new addition. I honestly feel like this new housewife named Jenny is Jenshaw's replacement come season 3. Same personality type as Jen. And the fact that her name is Jenny, I said, okay. So with all that being said, I'm really interested in seeing how her and Jen interact with each other all season long. I also want to see how she interacts with all the other ladies in the group. And I just want to see her dynamic and her storyline. It looks like her husband wants to have more kids and she doesn't want to. And he makes a comment about, well, maybe we should just get a sister wife, and she's pissed and she storms off. So it looks like there's some trouble in paradise and we're going to have to see more. But welcome to the fold, Jenny. Let's see what you have to offer, honey, because a lot of times these new girls are a hit or miss. Let me just say this regarding Jensha and this whole indictment and this whole case and her facing all this jail time. Seeing what I saw in that trailer, right, I immediately said, Jen does not seem to be taking this case seriously. I said, if I were facing 50 years of jail time and I were on a reality TV show, I would be on my P's and Q's. I would be the nicest person. You see her screaming up in Meredith's face. She's sitting up there making jokes about, well, can we get Kim K on our legal team? I'm like, girl, this is the wrong time to be having outbursts, screaming and yelling, having tantrums, and then trying to make light of this whole situation. There is nothing light or funny about what you're facing. And then when they showed her crying to her husband Sharif about how she's scared to death and he's just sitting there, I am dying to see what happens in their marriage with all this going on. I felt like there was something up between the both of them in the last season with her husband not being there. He was always gone, finding out that at one point they did want to file for divorce and he had left the house for all these days. I, for some reason, have a sinking suspicion that we're about to find out that Sharif is probably out the door with all this going on. To say that this whole thing is a hot mess is a complete understatement. We're about to see it all unfold. Child, I mean, to say that Jensha has a good storyline, that would also be an understatement. She's pretty much going to be carrying this season of the show, but for a very sad reason that could ultimately have her behind bars for many years. I'm really curious to see how the rest of these women treat her once everything unfolds. Meredith and Lisa don't seem to be here for it. They seem to be very much, I don't want to be associated with this. Shout out to everybody. I had fun.
Oh! Shout out to everybody. I had fun.
I gotta be good.
I forgot. TF, dot, dot, I'm out this bitch. Ha!
It looks like Lisa Barlow is not going to have a real storyline this season, just like last season. I think her whole thing is going to be her not wanting to be around Jensha because of everything that's going on. And we do see a short little clip in the trailer of, I think, her husband urging her to call Jen and just see how she's doing. And Lisa's like, I don't want to talk to her right now. Like, I want nothing to do with her. So it's going to be some mess. Lisa, let's see what you bring, sis, because you didn't bring a whole lot. I mean, I did have fun imitating you because you know how Lisa talks. She's very, guys, come on. Let's stop. Let's relax. I'm Mormon. I'm perfect. I'm the world's greatest mom. I own a tequila company. And I'm Lisa. I really did miss doing the Lisa impersonation, so I will be looking forward to that. We move on to Whitney in a short clip of her and her husband. She's telling her husband that she wants more sex, okay? She needs it just as much as he does. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Whitney, I don't know how strong or how interesting your storyline is gonna be for this season. I just don't know what to think. You could easily be replaced because I sort of looked at you as one of the forgettable cast members on the show. But again, we'll see. I thought Whitney was cool for the most part. I didn't dislike her last season. So we'll see where it goes. We flash on over to Heather, and Heather is crying once again. She's talking to somebody about how she doesn't want to screw everybody else up. We remember last season that Heather's whole storyline was all about her not being a good Mormon, her sort of being excommunicated from the church, and her grappling with the fact that she's a divorced Mormon. But I said, Heather, now I don't know about this whole crying bit because this reunion, you were on Lisa's behind like white on rice. Like, you didn't let up. We saw a different side of you. So again, I don't know how innocent and sweet you are because, baby, you were a whole different woman at that reunion. But I digress. It also appears that Heather and Jensha's friendship is about to be tested with everything looming around. We see Jen saying to her, I just need a friend right now. Heather's holding her hand saying, I got you. Like, we're friends to the end. And then towards the end of the trailer, Heather's saying, how do the feds know that you were at Beauty Lab? So it's giving very much an Erica Jane situation where everybody was rallying around Miss Erica. And now everybody's kind of like, you know what, girl? I don't know about all this that you got going on. We might have to distance ourselves for real because this is some real stuff and we ain't trying to be wrapped up in it, i.e. Miss Sutton. That's if you watch Beverly Hills. If you're not watching Beverly Hills, you need to be because those girls are on it. But again, I digress. Mary, quite contrary, Cosby is back and she has her crazy outfits, as you can see in that trailer. I said, girl, what are you wearing? But I've gotten used to it. I have made peace with the fact that Miss Mary is not playing with the full deck. It looks like Mary is about to be under some speculation regarding her church being a cult. When she stepped on the scene first season, everybody was talking, okay? Tongues were wagging. I had done that expose video on Mary when I had the interview with her uncle, and he was giving me all the tea. It looks like Lisa's going to be doing some investigating, talking to an ex-church member, and the ex-church member is saying that it is a cult, she's like a cult leader, and she calls herself God. We see Mary crying regarding the rumors, and it looks like it's about to be a hot mess. But it seems like Mary and Jen aren't going to be going at it, because remember how last season they were at each other's throats. But they did make up at the reunion, so it seems like all is well. I'm really curious to see what Mary has to say about Jen's indictment and this whole case with the feds being on her. Like, I already know that Mary's going to have some shade. Now we get to Miss Meredith. I did not really care for Meredith last season. I thought she was dry. I wasn't really buying the whole mess between her and her husband. I thought it was kind of contrived at some parts. It just seemed a little bit too convenient that they were having these serious marital issues and then all of a sudden they're back on track and more in love than they've ever been. So I just didn't know about that. I'm really annoyed that her son Brooks is going to be getting even more airtime this season. It seems like there's some drama between Brooks and Jensha, and that's also going to boil over into Meredith and Jen's friendship, because you know Meredith is not going to allow Jensha, of all people, to talk crazy to her children. I'm just curious to see how that's all going to play out. I found Brooks to be very aggravating. Again, this is a show about these women. It is not a show about their children. A scene or two is cute, but when it gets to be that the kids are getting their own confessionals and they're always putting in their 2 cents on everything, that's going to wear on my nerves immediately. Towards the end of the trailer, we see Whitney saying something to the effect of, she thinks that you had something to do with her indictment, and she's referring to Meredith. We then see Jensha getting out of her seat, and she's in Meredith's face. She's screaming at Meredith, talking about, I swear, if you're involved with these BS charges against me, it's going to be a problem. I was like, girl, you have the feds watching you. You're facing 50 years in prison. I suggest you sit your narrow behind down and stop all these theatrics. I don't believe for 1 minute that Meredith had anything to do with the BS that Jensha is facing. Jen is in this predicament because of her. All right? Nobody else. And she needs to own it. And it was so funny at the end when Jensha calls Meredith a fraud. And then Meredith's like, I'm a fraud. Like, girl, you are one to talk. Like, I love you too, baby. I'm going to see you later. I honestly feel like Meredith is about to give us something that we can feel. I feel like Meredith has that second season confidence about her. She's like, okay, I got that first season under my belt. I'm here. I'm ready for these girls. I'm ready for the viewers. And I feel like Meredith is about to give us something. I don't know why. I just feel it. Like her whole demeanor in the trailer, I was like, okay, Meredith is feeling herself and we're going to see it. I feel like this is going to be a fantastic season and I am here for it. Again, if you did not watch SLC season 1, I suggest you catch up. It's a cute first season. I mean, it's not going to blow you out the water, but you will be entertained. If you don't feel like watching and want to just run through all my recaps of last season, you can do that too. But Salt Lake City is about to be the perfect addition to Beverly Hills and Potomac. So again, thank you all for watching my recap. Let me know how y'all feel about the SLC trailer. What are your thoughts and predictions for this season? And you already know what to do. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all later. Bye.